Hello, fifth graders. This is Mr. Pudney here. I'm about to explain to you how I set up a FOSS experiment that we would have done were we in school. It involves soil and water and recording the temperatures of both 100 milliliters of soil and 100 milliliters of water for every 3 minutes for 15 minutes in the sunshine, and then for 15 minutes every 3 minutes in the shade, and to see how soil and water react to the sun's sunlight that shines upon them both. So what I have here is 2 empty containers, and I'll show you how I set up the experiment. Once I show you everything, I will upload pictures, and each picture has a record of the temperature for every 3 minutes that you can then record on a sheet called Heating Earth Materials Data Sheet, and I'll upload that sheet as well. So let me show you how I set up the experiment initially. Here you see the 2 empty containers. Here you see some soil over here, and there's water over here. So first thing I need to do is put 100 milliliters of each in the containers. So the first thing I'll do is I'll show you how I get my 100 milliliters of water, and I use a syringe, and right here you'll see it's 50 milliliters. So I'm going to fill this syringe up, it's a plunger, twice, and that'll be my 100 milliliters. Back this up. And we want to put exactly 100 milliliters of water and 100 milliliters of soil in both, because they need to be exactly the same amount of each substance. Otherwise, if I had more water than soil in each container, or more soil than water, then my results will not be accurate. So there's my 100 milliliters of water that I put in. Over here I have my soil. Now obviously I can't take my syringe and bring up the soil, so I took a measuring container here. You see it's teaspoons, tablespoons, ounces, and here we go. Over here is milliliters. You see it's 30 milliliters. So this I'm going to try to fill up 3 times, and I'm going to get it as close as I can. Let's see. 30. And 60. Perfect. 90. And then I'm going to want to try to get 10. All right. Okay, so there's 100 milliliters of soil. So we have 100 milliliters of soil, 100 milliliters of water, and then I have these kind of neat lids, and if you see that little V in here, it's a slot, and that slot is meant for a thermometer. And if you can see right there, it's exactly, both thermometers are at 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, now this is metric. 20 degrees Celsius would be in Fahrenheit, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, about room temperature. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the thermometer, I'll slide it down into this little crease that they have, and I want the bulb, you can see that the bulb is actually under the lid. What I did is, these containers are nice, you set them up so that the bulb is actually underneath the soil. So I'm getting a true temperature of the soil reading. And there you go, that's the soil. Do the same thing now for the water. I'll slide my thermometer under. That one went nice. Same thing, you can see it's underneath the lid, and it's very important, you want that bulb to be in the water because we're taking a true temperature of the water and of the soil. So now I'm all set, and I had done this maybe 5 or 6 days ago when it was a nice sunny day earlier last week. Now the sheet that I want to show you, and this will be uploaded on Edmodo, is right here. So what you see here at 0 minutes, so right at the very beginning, both those thermometers were at 20 degrees Celsius. The thermometer in the soil and the thermometer in the water. And what I did is I took the two containers and I put them outside in sunshine. And when 3 minutes passed, I recorded the temperatures of the soil and of the water. You may see something interesting based on the pictures for every 3 minutes. Then after another 3 minutes, now at 6 minutes, I took the temperature of the soil, temperature of the water. I did it after 9, 12, and 15, every 3-minute intervals. At 15 minutes, the temperatures are recorded for soil and water. And then what I did, and you see that dark black line, I moved the containers into the shade. So now it's in the shade. So now, of course, the temperatures are probably both going to go down. But it's the rate and how they decrease that's kind of interesting. And then I took pictures at 18-minute, 21-minute intervals, 24, 27, and 30. Now, normally you would have done that in our class, but since we're not in the class, I took pictures of every 3-minute interval skips, and I labeled them. So, for instance, you'll see a picture, and I may have 27 minutes in the shade. So, what I did is I showed the temperature readings, which you'll see a little bit better in my picture. And then at the 27-minute mark in the shade, you're just simply going to write down what is the temperature of the soil and what is the temperature of the water. But you're going to do that for each one of these photos that I'll upload. So you're going to have how many photos? A 3-minute, 6-minute, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. So there'll be 10 pictures. And all you have to do is look at the pictures and record the temperature readings off of the thermometers. Okay? That's what will be for that science lesson, and I believe that's going to be for tomorrow or today when you see this. After that, we'll graph it, and I'll show you how to actually graph both of those temperature readings off of the data sheet. In this, you'll take the readings from here, and you're going to put make a graph. You're actually going to have two different colors. You can have red for soil and blue for water, or brown for whatever colors, and you're simply going to graph. It's going to line graph. That's going to go from 0 minutes to 30 minutes. So you'll have two lines to show the temperature readings as it rises and it falls in the sunshine and in the shade. And that will be for the following day. Thanks for watching, guys and girls. Have a good day.